Hello, friends, and Starry Hilder off grid, but not just Starry Hilder. I'm going to change the name of this video. It is Mr. Hilder off grid, and guess what? It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning, and Mr. Hilder is, look, in the kitchen. And guess what he's doing today?
Canning.
He's canning.
This ain't just a woman's job.
Yeah.
Anyone can do this. You guys out there, you need to know how to do this.
Yes.
Just in case your woman can't do it, or you ain't got a woman, or whatever the case. This is part of efficient living. Wow, look at all this good meat. This is the the deer I was butchering up the other day.
So Mr. Hilder was butchering up a deer the other day, and I think we posted that video, but if you haven't watched it, watch it. And now it's Mr. Hilder's turn to get in the kitchen and show you people at home that men can can.
The main thing you got to remember in your head, get your jars clean. You don't have to like sterilize them, but I washed them all this morning. Yep. Believe it or not, I did wash them. Look for crud in the bottom. And get your jars set up, start packing them full of meat. And you want to pack them tight, because you're going to have little air gaps down in there, and then when you cook it, it's just going to shrink down. So you don't want to have a full jar and then also you take it out of the can and have half of a jar of meat.
Right.
So get that packed in there. And there's no fanciness to this. And then the other thing you got to remember in your head, just like your social security number or your telephone number or whatever numbers to remember, and you got social security number, whatever kind of numbers you got to remember. I don't remember all that kind of stuff because it's not important to me. This is what's important. These numbers are important to me, so I remember. Yeah. For our region, you have to check for your region, but once you establish your region, find out those numbers and memorize them. Yeah. Because then you're good to go. Yeah. You can be in survival mode.
This is survival mode for Mr. Hilder.
This is normal. I was canning. I haven't canned for a long time because Starry has sort of taken over those duties, but believe me, my friends were making fun of me. I used to can the year after I got out of high school. I was a canning machine. I was canning salmon. I was canning muskrat meat. I was canning venison. You name it, I canned it. And all my friends were laughing. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, food preservation. Food preservation. It's the name of the game.
And that was back in what year? In the 70s?
No, I'm not that old.
Oh.
Not that ancient.
I thought it was the 70s.
70s.
I don't know. Close enough.
Well, I'll give you a clue. I was still in high school in the 70s.
Oh yeah, but even back then, when you were in high school, what were you doing? You were trapping, you were hunting.
Trapping, and I didn't can. My ma gave me a canner because she knew I was into this kind of stuff. But I lived in a little cabin out in the woods, and I trapped. And I rented a cabin from this fellow, pretty cool guy. And he came over one day and he says, "I gotta tell you something. I gotta ask you something." He says, "One requirement if you're gonna rent here." And I had been renting there for some time, but he said, when you skin your raccoons and stuff, I used to skin them out on the little porch area there, and his house was like right over there. He said, "My wife doesn't like it when she comes home and you got these coon carcasses hanging. I left them hanging from the beam because I wanted to save them. I was going to smoke them." And he says, "Can you at least take those down?" So he was a cool guy. He didn't say, "Oh yeah, freaking out like you can't do this kind of stuff here." He just asked if I could take them down so they're out of sight, so his wife, when she came home, didn't look over and see these coon carcasses hanging there.
Only Mr. Hilder has stories like that.
And then the game that I had got for the day. This is what you want to check for. Check every one of these rims. I usually rub my finger around it, plus visual inspection. This is quite visual. There's a chip out of that one.
Oh.
We don't want to use this one for canning.
There is a chip. Look at that.
This is a drinking jar or a throw-out jar or whatever, but it's not for canning.
Very good, Mr. Hilder.
As I'm talking, you can see it looks like I'm just babbling on and not really paying attention to what I'm doing.
Very good.
But I like to feel them because if there's a nick in there, you'll feel it, and then that won't seal.
Yeah, because these aren't new jars.
So.
And then he's also using, reuse the lids.
And so I'm just sort of looking, I'm just looking ones that don't look good. Obviously I don't use them. So I'm looking for dents or stuff that's beyond repair. Like, see that little that's from where we opened it.
Yep.
That's not a big. It's nothing to do with where it seals. The important part is right in the very center of the lid where it's recessed.
Yep.
That's the important part. So that's what I'm sort of looking at as I'm jabbering here.
Okay.
But anyhow, it's back to the cabin, and I had a big tarp on the floor. Well, then my dad comes over, and he's like, opens the refrigerator up. He's like, well, what the heck? You ain't got no food here. Like, he wanted food, like, made already or something, or I don't know, like normal
food
yeah.
that you get at the grocery store. So
and I'm like, well, what do you mean it's full of fruit? I'm full of food. I'm like, there's all kinds of ducks in there, and there's muskrats in there, and
oh no,
well, there's a couple hunks of venison I got to get taken care of. In fact, that's the only reason I came home is to take care of some of this game. I had to get processing stuff, so I had to actually take a few days off of hunting and fishing and trapping to get preparing stuff. And so he just shook his head. It's like, wow, he knew I was, different when I was younger.
He knew you were different.
But it was like almost like now I'm full blown out of control or something like that. And I'm like, wow, this is like a fantasy. This is why I could hardly wait to get away from home, because I just wanted to have my house set up for the way I had it set up, obviously. Yeah. So I had no problem with it. And so then he didn't get nothing to eat, obviously, and I just slapped off a couple breasts of off those ducks there and fried them in the frying pan, and I was good to go. And I said, well, I'm out of here tomorrow morning. I got to be up late doing all this stuff. So, and this was a small place, it's not like you go to a quiet area. But yeah, that's just how it was for me. And
done carrying the All-American canner out here. And that's one of the things you got to remember. If you decide to buy an All-American canner, it's heavy. It's really, really heavy. So take that into consideration. But Mr. Hilder, I'm going to let him take over because he's the star of this canning process today. So
off grid, no fire.
Malfunction. What are you going to do?
We're going to starve. Flint nap and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
you got to have a certain degree of. Let me go find a lighter. Never. These are the key things I always have in my pocket.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
These are the main essentials that you need in your pocket at all times.
Mr. Hilder, always prepared. Can't believe that.
This particular canner doesn't have a gasket on it, so I went and put a ring of Vaseline around it. Whatever kind of canner you're using, double checking those things. If you have a gasket, just make sure to follow those instructions. Get the, where's my little arrow at here? See if I can follow instructions. There's arrow. Where's the arrow on this thing? I don't see the arrow anywhere. You see the arrow?
Right here. Right here. See?
Yeah, but where's the part where it
And then you have to line it up with this part over there. And like Mr. Hilder said, every canner is different.
Every canner is different, so double check those things.
There you go. He's getting it.
It don't seem to be right.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I don't think so.
As long as the arrows are...
Here, on this particular canner, get your little things up here, and I'll show you the proper way to do it. Make sure you do cross. Make sure your canner, look for your gap. Make sure it's equal all the way around so that your canner's level, it's not cocked.
Yep.
That's important so you don't have potential problem when there's a lot of pressure in this thing. And then tighten your gauges up opposite.
Equally, right.
Equal. Make sure everything is, just double check everything. And then we're going to let this baby start building pressure until it steams. So it's been 10 minutes. See the steam flowing out of there? 10 minutes. Put my jiggler on to the appropriate weight there. And then I'm going to start the timing right when I get up to 250. And then it's going to be 75 minutes.
Yep. Good job.
And then we're going to have another big batch of fresh venison canned. Wow, what a great feeling when you do this, and it's just like how prepared and like electricity goes out. Whatever the case, I'm going to still be eating good.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll show you the results when
they're done.
Okay, guys, I just finished up with my canning operation there.
Ooh, what'd you get there, Mr. Hilder?
Started to take off, so I was left on my own. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. This is easy. Everyone should be doing this. You guys don't be afraid to do this. If I can do this,
That's right.
Anyone can do it. All you bachelors, single guys, you don't need a woman to do this stuff for you. You just do it yourself. And then when you do get a woman, she'll be highly impressed. So, but anyways, I got 28 pints. And so I'm going to make sure to get these in the proper rotation. And then, in fact, I think we're going to put a little divider in here, and it's going to be Starry's half and my half.
Oh,
So,
Mr. Hilder.
there you go.
No more Starry Hilder pantry.
So it's just better to be versatile, because if the woman always does this, then you're sort of handicapped, and it's like, what if she ain't around?
That's right. Or if you don't have a
Or
woman.
if you don't got a woman, yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah,
But then you start asking yourself, well, why do you need a woman?
that's right.
No, you need a woman.
Oh, boy. Okay, Mr. Hilder.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And
On
on to the next.
to the next batch, project, whatever.
All right.
Jerky's coming up next.
Oh, jerky's coming up next. Okay. Mr. Hilder and the off-grid pantry. Success.
Okay.